Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the GSkill PD, and for today what we have here is Solstice Chronicles MIA. So we need to thank the developers of this game, which was Unported and its publishers, for providing me a key to play this game. So my first intentions was not to benchmark this game, but thanks to the publishers and to the developers we can finally test out this game. Okay, so Solstice Chronicles MIA is developed using Unreal Engine 4, and so I'm using in here a custom presets, which is well, a thing that I don't really recommend. This was my first recommendation into the game, which was to play with the median settings and raise the textures to very high, and so I decided to take advantage of this video despite I changed my mind regarding what settings you should play with. So this is the first level. As you can see, it runs absolutely fine. The game have a cap to 62 FPS in place, but if you access the editor of the Unreal Engine 4 you can disable this limitation. Okay, I'm recording with Radeon Relive, which can take a small impact to the performance, something like 3 to 5 FPS. And as you can see, despite the great amount of NPCs, the game sustains quite well, as you can see. Okay, so it is around 60 FPS with no problem. So I think I can talk a little bit more about the game right now. So Solstice Solstice Chronicles MIA is pretty much an isometric or a top-down shooter. Okay, if you played Shadowgrounds, I'm pretty sure you are going to find very similarities between Shadowgrounds and this game, which is quite amazing. The game is actually very cheap on Steam, and the graphics of this game are really amazing. Look at this, with the flamethrower. There is a lot of effects going on, and this is with the median settings. If you choose high or very high, it is even greater. Okay, so that's the thing. So this is pretty much, you have kind of a campaign which you can play. There is some story, some quick cutscenes that gives you a small idea of what the hell is going on, but it's pretty much vast. There is no much explanation, there is no too much story. It's pretty much a lot of action going on, kill, and there you go. In front of, for a little bit more front on the game, we will, in forward, let's say this way, you will find a drone, or you will play with a drone, which I find quite similar to Portal 2. So it seems that is a funny drone, but it will help us out. There is some skills that are exclusive to the drone that can help you out to fetch items, to create a barrier that will protect you. There are a lot of skills that you can use for that drone, and you will unlock a little bit more forward into the game. You can also improve your character, so as long as you are shooting monsters, killing monsters and grabbing stuff, or exploring the map, you will get experience that you can waste a little bit. Sometimes in some levels you can waste on the character and improve some of the things. There are also classes that you can choose for your character, if you prefer to be a little bit more tank, or if you prefer to be a little bit more I don't know, long range killer. There are tastes for everyone, and I think that at least we should give credits to the developers for doing this. Well, there is also another thing which I consider to be quite unique for nowadays. There is a way to play in co-op in the same PC, so you can play like with your brother or your sister. Both can sit in the same PC. Let's imagine you can take up the keyboard and mouse, and your brother can take up the gamepad, and both can play on the same screen. So it is not cut at all or anything like it. Both characters are on the same screen, and you can play that way. Okay, so that's really up to you. So the game is pretty much like this. It's an isometric shooter. There is no much more to talk about the game. You can play isometric, you can play survival, which I didn't try it out, so I have no idea what is supposed for you to do. And there is this story mode. So the game costs by now 20 bucks. It's not much considering how great the graphics in this game are, and you know, the story might not be that big, but you still have like a lot of stuff that you can do. You can try another classes, you can try higher difficulties, so it's a quite nice game. The only disappointing for me is that the first levels were really optimized. I mean, with the median settings, you could pretty much play at 50s and 60 FPS with no troubles at all. But as soon as I reached like the HB workshop and the forward levels, the performance started to tank a lot. And when I say tank, I say like the performance started to drop to 30s, to 40s, to 50s, and I have no longer seen the 60 FPS that I saw on the start of the video. At the moment that you are seeing, I will show you one of the levels a little bit more forward into the video where the game really tanks, and after that level pretty much all the levels will be more or less like that. It will underperform, let's say this way. I was expecting to play this game at 60 FPS, but it's not going to happen, only on the first levels, okay? And it seems to be like CPU bound, so all those levels are not GPU bound. I say that the GPU usage is around 60s to 70%, but it is CPU. So I believe that if you have a better CPU like an i5, i7 or a Ryzen CPU, the performance will be much better on the forward levels comparing to what I have in here. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. We will talk a little bit more about the performance in the end of it. Okay, so goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it.
This is it, Grunt. Go! Come on. It's the end of the world and security tags still work? Damn it! Level medium. Threat level low.
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video. So this was the first level of the game, the last man standing, and the first video. So the performance It was great. As you can see, the low settings we had an average of 85, the median settings we had an average of 67, despite the minimums being 42. It was quite stable between the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. It was very acceptable, keeping in mind the amount of NPCs that it was going on, the explosions, the fire, the shooting. So it was really amazing, and you can see it in another perspective. That is there a custom median, that those settings, it was what I used, okay, at the very beginning of the game. I end up removing this custom median because these first levels, like I told you, are very different than the forward ones. After the HB workshop, the game really tanks a lot. It's not that the levels are different regarding its design or the amount of enemies, it's just, I don't know, there is something going on with the game, and the game is much more demanding on those forward levels than in these first levels. So I decided to completely eradicate those custom median settings because there is no reason for that. For example, in the HB workshop, you can see that the minimum frames are actually the same. The same can be said to the average. It's pretty much the same to all the settings, so we are completely CPU bound. I contacted the developers team through Steam forums and trying to understand what the hell is going on with the optimization on these levels, on these forward levels, and they kind of have a clue that might be the artificial intelligence paths, so the paths through the maps when there is a lot of monsters going on. Walking through the map, the artificial intelligence and the dynamic paths needs to take some resources from the CPU, and that might be causing a lot of performance problems into the game. What is strange is that the first levels were fine with that. Well, to be true, the first level there was a lot of enemies, but the other levels between the HB workshop and the first levels there wasn't too much enemies, so I don't really know what the hell is going on. But I do hope that the developers at least try to optimize a little bit the game at the CPU side, to optimize a little bit these minimum frames, because with that the only thing I can recommend you is to go with the high settings, or go with the very high, or go with the median, because yeah, the first levels there is a big difference between these settings, okay? But after the HB workshop, it's pretty much the same. You can choose very high, you can choose the high, you can choose the median. The performance, when there is a lot of monsters, will be the same if you have a Phenom II. Although I believe that if you have a much recent CPU, like a Ryzen 5, a Ryzen 3, a Ryzen 7, but with high clocks, okay, even a Pentium G, I can even put the Pentium G into this, a new CPU with high clocks, I'm pretty sure that probably will deliver much greater frame rate than I have it in here with the same graphic card. So if you have one of these graphic cards listed on the title, but if you have a much better CPU or a much more recent CPU, I'm pretty sure that you won't be having the same troubles that I'm having in here right now, because Phenom II is really old and its performance per core is not great, and I'm pretty sure that this game required some extra optimization for multi-core. Okay, but that's really up to the developers. I'm not into their code, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But still, I find this game very enjoyable, and I see the developers very keen and interested in fixing the game. So it's really up to you guys. If you want to buy the game, go ahead. It's cheap, it's 20 bucks. I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed, okay? If you like this type of games, obviously. I'm planning, I'm not sure if I ever told to you, I'm opening another channel. It's called it's called Grumpy Turtle, okay? I started to make some playthroughs there of old games. It's an excuse for playing the backlog of games that I had on Steam. I started with Tomb Raider 4, I will play Tomb Raider 5 too, yes, the old ones. But I'm pretty sure that I will spend some time to playing this game and making a playthrough. I'm pretty sure the developers and publishers of this game will like this too, because they offered me the key. So why not? I should try at least to play the game, and if you want to see a little bit more about the game, you can check the channel. I will eventually upload videos there about this game, and you'll see if you like the game or not, okay? So guys, thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.